ओम वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ओम श्री महागणपतये नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम श्री मेधा दक्षिणामूर्ति स्वामिने नमः। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय कृष्णाय क्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदान्तवेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे कृष्णद्वैपायनं व्यासं सर्वलोकहिते रतं वेदाब्जभास्करं वन्दे समाधिनिलयं मुनिं सहस्रमूर्तेः पुरुषोत्तमस्य सहस्रनेत्राननपादबाहोः सहस्रनाम्नां स्तवनं प्रशस्तं निरुच्यते जन्मजरादिशान्त्यै। ओम। Namaste once again everyone.
Namaste Guruji.
Namaste. अनाधिर्भूर्भुवो लक्ष्मीः सुवीरो रुचिराङ्गदः जननो जनजन्माधिर्भीमो भीमपराक्रमः. So we are on this shloka and we have seen the last nama was Bhimah. The Lord is a source of fear, but he himself is beyond any fear. This is one meaning. Another meaning also we saw, the one who is admired for his strength and terrific deeds. That's why in Mahabharata, Bhima was named Bhima. Now the last nama of this shloka, Bhima Parakramaha, the one of immense strength. Asuradinam bhayahetuhu parakramo asya avatareshviti Bhima Parakramaha. So his Parakrama means power, strength. It's admirable. And Bhima, awe-inspiring. So in his avatars, Bhagavan's strength causes great fear to the asuras, and hence he is called Bhima Parakrama. Bhima Parakramaha. Pullinga Shabda. So this is the meaning of Bhima Parakramaha. The next shloka. Adhara nilayo dhata pushpahasaf prajagaraha udvagas satpatacharaha pranadah pranavah panaha. So this shloka again has got 9 namas. Adhara nilayaha, adhata, pushpahasaha, prajagaraha, urdvagaha, satpatacharaha, pranadaha, pranavaha, panaha. 9 namas are there. Adhara nilayaha, the final abode of all supports. Adhara means support. Prithviyadhinam Panchabhutanam Adharanam Adharatvat Adhara Nilayah. Bhagavan is the support of all the supporting things in this universe. That's what Adi Shankara says. The 5 elements like space, air, fire, water, and earth, they support this elemental world, right? The world of elements. And from where these 5 elements are supported, or these 5 elements are supported by whom? They have their being in Parameshwara. Because of Parameshwara only, from Parameshwara only, from the combination of Brahman and Maya, these Panchabhutas are born. Akasha, Vayuhu, Prithvi, Akasha, Vayuhu, Agnihi, Apaha and Prithvi. This is explained very nicely in Taitra Upanishad. Akashat Vayuhu, Vayo, Ragnihi, Agnis, Apaha, Apah, Prithvi. Sorry. Yeah, Akashat, Vayuhu, Vayah, yeah, Prithvi. All 5 elements, one by one, they are born. So eventually, all of them have their support in Ishvara, in Parameshwara only. So, Parameshwara is the final abode of all the supports. Adhara Nilayah. Then Adhata. There is another reading also, Dhata. The grammar, Sanskrit grammar allows for both the readings. So, Adhata means the one who requires no support. And Dhata means the one consumer of all beings. Swatmana dhritasya asya anyah dhata nasti iti adhata. One meaning. Then second meaning Adi Shankara takes samsara samaye sarvaha prajahan dhayati pibati iti va dhata. That's the beauty of the language. Different verbs having different meanings, but the derivation many times are the same. So we have to be very careful while interpreting Sanskrit words, that which verb is being used to convey the meaning which is intended. So the one who sustains is Data. We have seen Dhata is a word which even in Hindi and all that, commonly used. Dhata. Dhata is the Mahaprana Dha, not Data. Dhata. So we have seen Bhagavan is Adhara Nilaya, and hence he is Dhata, the sustainer of everything. He is the basis, the truth of all elements. He is the easiness, the existence of all elements and all forces. Whenever we refer to anything as ease, this is, that is, this is a bottle, this is a laptop, this is a table, this is a mouse, I am. That is word we use or am word we use, all refer to Parameshwara only, which is Sat aspect of Parameshwara, existence, pure existence. But question is, that is fine. We understand Parameshwara sustains everything, but who sustains Parameshwara? The answer is simple. No one, nothing sustains Parameshwara. Parameshwara exists by himself, sustains himself, and does not need any other dhata to sustain him. Therefore, having no other dhata, he is adhata. And as I said, the Sandhi rules also allow this word to be taken as dhata, the Sanskrit language grammar rules. And here using the verb for this word, derivation of dhata, Adi Shankara says that he is dhata because he drinks as though all beings. Because the word dhata has got as a meaning of drinker also, the one who drinks. Pibati, he says, right? What he said? Pibati iti va dhata. Sarvaha prajaha dhayati pibati. That means what? During the time of pralaya, he takes unto himself all the beings. Samhara or pralaya. When the whole universe converts from manifest form to unmanifest form, figuratively, it is described as Parameshwara is drinking all the entire universe, all beings. So that way also we can see the meaning dhata. So both the meanings are applicable in this context. Both refers to Parameshwara only. Then Pushpahasaha, the one who has blossomed as this universe. Mukulatmana sthitanam pushpanam hasavat prapancha rupena vikaso asyeti pushpahasaha. The word vikasa means the blossoming of buds into flowers, blooming. And when that happens, poetic imagination looks like their hearts are, as though they are smiling. That's why early in the morning when you wake up and when you see the blooming flowers, the flowers bloom along with the sunrise. And if you visualize that the flowers are smiling, automatically you will smile back at the flowers. Will make your day a smiling day, happy day. These are all some natural things, if we realize the value of such experiences, we will get up early in the morning like the flowers before sunrise. At the time of sunrise, we will be awake to enjoy, to experience this happy event which happens every day. And when these flowers are blooming, you will see the birds chirping. Another very beautiful experience for your ears. That's why they say that one must get up before the sunrise and then enjoy. And once you are in that mood, right, in the morning, then the whole day passes very nicely. Your mind becomes very calm and quiet. You are one with nature. You enjoy the nature. So here, Pushpahasaha is again a figurative expression from the unmanifest state. When Bhagavan blossoms, manifests as this prapancha, this universe, it looks like the smile of a flower. Hence, he is called Pushpahasa. You must notice a flower bud has no fragrance or nectar, nor does it attract the bees. It is in a kind of a causal state, like the unmanifest state. And then the bud blooms. So in the unmanifest state, Bhagavan is the bud. In the manifest state, he is the flower. And he is also the sun, which makes the bud bloom. Everything is Bhagavan. He is the bud, which is the cause. He is the flower, which is the effect. And the same bud, which we just now described as doesn't have any fragrance or nectar, the same bud in the manifest condition, when it becomes a flower, it becomes attractive, fragrant, and a beautiful flower. The bees go to those flowers. There is nectar, and they consume that nectar. And again, there is a comparison, or I would say that figurative speech. When the universe becomes manifest, it is as though Bhagavan is laughing. It is creation. And when Bhagavan is quiet, it is pralaya or resolution. But that other side also we must remember. Creation is blossoming, and some flowers actually, they become a bud again when the sun sets. And again they will bloom the next day. So that is Pushpahasaha. Prajagaraha. Prajagaraha, the one who is ever awake. Nitya Prabuddha Swarupatvat Prakarshane. Prakarshana Jagarti iti Prajagaraha. This is, we see, very easy to understand. Being the nature of consciousness, Chitswarupa, he is Prajagara, eternally awake. Sakshi Chaitanyam, never sleeps. He never comes under the spell of Maya or sleep. Because sleep indicates Tamo Guna, and Bhagavan is Gunatita. He does not have any gunas, beyond all gunas. How does he do that? Because he keeps Maya under its control. Unfortunately, we are slaves to Maya, and that is why we undergo all these experiences. Bhagavan is beyond Maya. He keeps Maya under his control. That is why he is able to keep awake eternally as Sakshi Chaitanyam. That is Prajagaraha. Urdvagaha. Urdvagaha means the uppermost. Sarvesham uparitishtan urdvagaha. Bhagavan is Urdvaga because he stands above all. He is always ahead of and above everyone. He is the first Guru who was never a Shishya to another Guru. That is Urdvaga, the first and foremost, top of all. Others have been disciples to their Guru, but Bhagavan was never a disciple. He is the root, the moolam of this entire universe. And Bhagavad Gita chapter 15 starts, Urdva moolam adashakam. Urdva, that is, the universe is of such a nature that the roots of the universe are at the top and the branches are below. Urdva moolam adashakam ashwattam prahuravyayam. Because the Ashwatha tree also is like the universe only. The roots are up and the branches they flow down from the tree. That's why the comparison of the universe is made with the Ashwatha tree. Then next Nama, Satpatacharaha, the one who walks the path of righteousness. Satam pantanaha karmani satpataha tan acharatyesha iti satpatacharaha. Patin shabda means a way, the road. Satpata is the way of Satpurushas, the people who follow dharma, the way they live, the way they act, whatever they do, and whatever needs to be avoided, they avoid that. They follow dharma. They set the path by following the Acharya as shown in the Shruti and Smriti and given out by Bhagavan. And Bhagavan is the one who is manifest in the form of dharma of all people who follow dharma. Also, their actions are nothing but Bhagavan only. And that is so, what Acharya should Bhagavan follow and what Acharya should Bhagavan avoid? Again, we go back. Bhagavan, as Bhagavan, he did not follow anything. Still, when he takes avatars, he follows the Acharya shown by the Satpurusha for Loka Sangraha, for protection of the world, for setting an example to others. That is why we have got Rama Avatara, Krishna Avatara, and all that. Next is Pranadaha. This Nama Pranadaha has occurred 3 times earlier, if you remember. Here the meaning is the giver of life, Pranadaha. Mritan Parikshit Pravritin Jivayan Pranadaha. We have already seen this, one of the meanings. Bhagavan is in the form of Pancha Pranas. What are they? Prana, the respiratory activities. Apana, excretory activities. Vyana, the circulation. Samana, the digestion. And Udana, the throwing out, the even throwing out of the prana itself is Udana activity. But all these together are called prana. Common name is given prana, but prana represents prana, apana, vyana, samana, and udana. So, since this prana, that is all these systems, the physiological systems are given by Ishvara, he is called Pranada. This is the general meaning of this word, prana, which we have seen earlier also. And in his avatars as Sri Krishna, he gave prana to Parikshit, the son of Abhimanyu, and brought him back to life, thereby saving him from the effects of Astra of Ashwatthama. The story comes in Mahabharata. And even in Ramayana, there is a story where many of these Vanaras, who were, the army of the Vanara army, they were all killed, and Rama brought back life to them. So he is Pranadaha, giver of life. Then Pranavaha. Pranava means Omkara, the one who is the Omkara. Pranavo nama Paramatmanaha Vachaka Omkaraha tadabedopacharena ayam pranavaha. We have seen this Nama Om in great detail in one of the previous classes, if you all remember. The sound symbol Om is otherwise known as Pranava, which means Pranava means ever new. It never becomes stale or old. Ishvara is always Nava, new, and his name is Om. So he is the meaning of Pranava. And also what is pointed out by Pranava is Paramatma Ishvara. That is why before every Nama, we add Om. When we do Archana and Stuti and all that. Then Panaha. Panaha means the one who does daily transactions. Panatihi vyavahararthaha tam kurvan panaha punyani sarvani karmani panam sangrihya adhikaribhyah tatphalam prayachati iti va lakshanaya panaha. Simply, man, the word pana means empirical transactions. That is the day-to-day transactions. That's why, the word is pani. There is a word. In Malayalam also this word is a pani. Means some work, some transaction. So Bhagavan carries on every day the transaction of creation, sustenance and resolution, and also all activities that are part of these three main activities, and hence he is Pana. The Purusha Sukta says, Sarvani Rupani Vichitya Dhiraha Namani Kritva Bhivadan Yadhaste. Kritva Abhivadan Yadhaste. The wise Lord, Vichitya Dhiraha, having created the forms and having given them various names, remains transacting through them. So we can get the meaning of Panaha from the Purusha Suktam also. And when we talk about transactions in our Laukika sense, the merchant takes Pana, the right amount of money, and gives the merchandise in return. So too Bhagavan takes from us the various karmas that we have done, like Pana, and gives in return the karma phala, and hence also he is Pana. Panaha. The next sloka. Pramanam prana nilayah pranabhrit prana jivanah tattvam tattva videkatma janmam mrityu jaratikah. Again, this has got 8 namas, this sloka. Pramanam prana nilayah pranabhrit prana jivanah tattvam tattvavid ekatma janma mrityu jaradikah. That is 1 nama. Janma mrityu jaradikah, 8 namas in all. Pramanam, the self-evident knowledge. Pramitihi samvit swayam prabha pramanam, says Adi Shankara. The word pramana generally refers to the means of knowing. There are 5 means of knowing. First is called pratyaksha, which is direct perception. It can be a sense perception, witness perception, I mean, any sense perception, whether it's hearing or sight or touch, nose, grana, that is smell, and taste. Directly, we get the experience. That is one means of knowing. And the knowledge that is gained through the sense organ is called Indriya Pratyaksha. But knowledge can also be gained directly without the help of the senses, and that is called Sakshi Pratyaksha, witness perception. All mental conditions, all emotions, all experiences gained through the senses are known because of the witness that is present in all these perceptions. Therefore, direct perception is possible with the help of senses and also without the help of senses, sense faculties. And another way to gain knowledge is through reason. This is through inference. This is indirect knowledge. And inference is based on data gathered by Pratyaksha. And it is also a pramana, valid pramana, and Vedanta recognizes that. One step inference is called Anumana, and more than one step inference is called Arthapatti, which is presumption. And there is one more which Vedanta recognizes, which is not recognized by many other systems. That is called Anupalabdhi Pramana, absence of things. That is also a pramana, valid means of knowledge. For example, I know there is no elephant in this room, but that's a knowledge I have gained. That is Anupalabdhi, non-existence, absence. Then there is Upamana, illustration, which is also a pramana. Example, the bison is like a buffalo. So when you happen to go to African jungle, you see an animal which is looks like a buffalo, but it's a wild animal. Then that is oh, this is bison, which looks like a buffalo. That is also a knowledge through illustration. We gain a valid knowledge. But it's an indirect knowledge, not a direct knowledge, because directly what we perceive, we don't know. We don't get any knowledge of what that bison, that it is a bison. Only when we have a knowledge of a buffalo, and somebody has told us a bison looks like a buffalo, and when you come across a bison which looks like a buffalo, you know it is bison. So that is an indirect knowledge, but it is a valid knowledge. So therefore, all the pramanas are a means of knowledge depending upon direct perception. And therefore, the one through which we gain the knowledge through direct perception are called Moola Pramana, the basic means of knowledge. In fact, Moola Pramana includes also Shabda Pramana, which is the sixth Pramana, which is Vedas. Vedas are called Shabda Pramana, and that also depends upon the Moola Pramana only. And all these Pramanas are known because of the Sakshi, the witness consciousness. Every Pramana works because there is a witness. All the Pramanas become valid because of the witness, and that witness is Parameshwara. Therefore, the means of knowledge is Parameshwara, and anything that you know through the means of knowledge is also Parameshwara. So it is the one meaning is means of knowledge. Then pramana also means pramiti, the knowledge itself. Adi Shankara says, it is the Swayam Prabha Samvit, the self-shining consciousness. That is the basis of every pramana knowledge. Therefore, being the pramana of all pramanas, the Lord himself is called pramana. That is the meaning of this nama pramana. Then prana nilayaha, the resting place of all pranas. Pranahe indriyani yatra jive niliyante tat paratantratvat dehasya dharakaha pranapanadayoho va tasmin niliyante. Praniti iti prano jivaha pare niliyate iti. Our understanding is that the jivas depend on the prana. Isn't it? Whom we call jiva, the one who is breathing. And we say it is the prana which is keeping us alive. Here it is said, it is the pranas depend on the jiva. And the jiva is nothing but Bhagavan. And prana here refers to both the indriyas and the sense, that is the sense organs, and also the prana, the pancha pranas we just now saw, the physiological system. Therefore, all these are residing in the jiva. So, and jiva is nothing but Ishvara, Paramatma. Therefore, he is prana nilaya. Or we can take the other side meaning, what we normally understand. If the jiva is to stay alive in the body, it requires the help of prana. Prana is that which enlivens the body, and as the pranas merge in him, he is called prana nilaya. Third meaning, he says, because he breathes, the jiva is called prana. In sleep, the jiva merges into Paramatma. As the merging of the prana, that is the jiva, he is prana nilaya. Merging place of the prana, that is the jiva, he is called prana nilaya. And also at the time of pralaya, he destroys all the pranas and all the jivas, and in that place, all these liyante in Paramatma. So he is also called prana nilaya. So 4 meanings Adi Shankara takes. Prana nilaya. Then prana brit, the sustainer of prana. Excuse me. Poshayan annarupena pranan pranabhrit. Bhagavan is pranabhrit, the one who sustains the prana in the body through various forms of food that we consume and keeps those pranas alive. Simple meaning. Without consuming food, pranas will not be alive. We know that. Starve for a few days and we can see that all the pranas first become very weak. If you have not eaten for days, very difficult to move, very difficult to even get up from the floor, get up from the bed. Why? Because all the pranas become weak. They require food that we consume for sustenance, for a healthy prana to be sustained in the body. So Bhagavan is that prana brit who sustains that prana in the body through food. Then prana jivanaha, the one who enlivens all living beings. Pranino jivayan pranakyaihi pavanaihi prana jivanaha. Ishvara is the one who lives in all living beings, which includes everything known and unknown, even in other planets. If at all there are any living things in other planets, they are also sustained by Ishvara only. He keeps all alive. From our standpoint, we think the prana makes us live, but it is Ishvara who enlivens the very prana that sustains us. Kathopanishad says, na pranena na apanena martyo jivati kaschana itarenuta jivanti yasmin neta upashritau. The jivas live not by prana or apana, but by something else on which these two depend. And that is Ishvara. Because even when we talk of air, which is the one we say that, breathing the air, breathing in and breathing out. Air being an element, by nature it is inert. It cannot function by itself. What makes the air function is the consciousness principle behind it. Therefore, there is no life form outside Ishvara. The very life is Ishvara, and hence he is prana jivanaha. Then tattvam. Tattvam amritam satyam paramatma satatvam ityethe ekartha vachinaha. Okay. Paramartha sato brahmano vachakaha shabdaha tattvam. The derivation of the word tattvam in the language is tasya bhavaha tattvam. Tasya bhavaha means the essence or the reality of a thing is called tattva. For example, the tattva of a pot is clay. The clay can be further reduced to its tattva, the atoms, which can again be reduced to their tattva, the particles. And finally, it can be reduced to the pure existence, Sat. What is the tattva of the observer of the pot or clay? The tattva of the observer is consciousness. And as the pot, clay, atoms, etc. are not outside consciousness, their tattva is also consciousness. So the reality of the observer and the observed is the same Sat and Chit, existence and consciousness. That tattva is Atma, that is Brahman, and Brahman is Parameshwara. Hence, Parameshwara is the tattva, the truth of everything. It is Brahman alone that is referred to by various words like tattva, amrita, satya, paramartha, etc., all of which have got the same meaning. So, Bhagavan is tattva. Then tattvavit. Tattvavit means the knower of the truth or the reality. Tattvam swarupam yatavat vetti iti tattvavit. Not only Parameshwara is the tattva, but he is also tattvavit, the knower of tattva or the reality. He has never any ignorance about his own tattva. Brahman is tattva, the knower of Brahman, the truth is also Brahman. The knower knows I am Brahman. He is not ignorant of the fact that he is Brahman. And this knowledge of Brahman or self, this is the knowledge of Brahman or self-knowledge, it's called. Thus, any Tattvavit, being the knower of Brahman, is Brahman alone. Since Parameshwara knows the Tattva, the truth of himself, he is Tattvavit. And every Tattvavit is Parameshwara. Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati, says Upanishads. Then Ekatma, the one self. Ekascha asau atma cha iti ekatma. Bhagavan is Ekatma, the one self of all. He is one, but that one is not a member of a sect. All that is there is non-dually one. That is the truth. And it is the one limitless, self-existent, self-revealing consciousness, the Atma. Shankara quotes from Aitareya Upanishad, says, Atma va idam eka evagra asit nanyat kinchana mishat. In the beginning, there was only one Atma. There was nothing else that blinked. Mishat means blinking. Na anyat kinchana mishat, nothing else blinked. Atma what? Atma means the Swarupa, the essential nature. I think we have seen this meaning earlier also. The Linga Purana defines Atma as Yachapnoti Yadadatte Yayati Vishayaniha Yachasya Santato Bhavaha Tasmat Atmeti Giyate. The word Atma has all these meanings, that which pervades everything. Apnoti. Adatte, that which withdraws everything into itself in sleep and pralaya. Yati Vishayaniha, that which eats all the Vishaya, that is, enjoys all experiences. Yachasa Santato Bhavaha, that which always exists. So Atma is the very essence of every experience. That is the truth of the knower, the known, and knowledge. Atma is the truth of all triputis. And that which is in the form of consciousness reveals itself all the time. Ekatma. Then Janma Mrityu Jaradika, the last nama of this sloka. Adika, beyond. Janma Mrityu Jara, the one who is not subject to birth, death, and decay. Jara is old age, basically decay. Shat bhava vikaran atitya gacchati iti janma mrityu jaradika. Janma and mrityu, that is birth and death, are two sides of the same coin. And we have seen, what the Shat Vikaras are. Asti, Jayate, Vardhate, Viparinamate, Apakshiyate, Nashyati. Shat Vikaras. So if an entity is born, Asti, then Vardhate, it grows and becomes an adult. And in adulthood, a change comes, Viparinamate, metamorphosis takes place. Then Apakshiyate, it starts declining, and finally Nashyati, it dies. Decays and dies. Jara means, as I said, old age. If the person lives, then he or she ages, and that is shown by the word apakshiyate. And Bhagavan has none of these sixfold modifications. He is Janma Mrityu Jaradika, above birth and death and old age, and that is, he is not subject to the sixfold changes which every jiva is subject to. The Kathopanishad describes the self, the Paramatma, which is our Atma, which is our self, the real self. Na jayate mriyate va vipaschit, nayam kutaschinna babhuva kaschit, ajo nitya shashvato yam purana hai, hanyate hanyamane sharire. And Bhagavan Krishna practically lifts this mantra from Kathopanishad and puts it in the Bhagavad Gita with slight change in the words. What is the meaning? The self is neither born nor does it die. Na jayate mriyate va vipaschit. Nayam kutaschinna babhuva kaschit. It does not originate from anything, nor did anything originate from me, from it. Ajo nitya hai. Aja hai. Nitya hai. It is birthless. Aja hai. Nitya hai. Eternal. Shashvata hai. Undecaying. Ayam Purana hai, and ancient. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. It is not injured even when the body is killed. Hanyamane sharire. When the body is killed or the body dies, the Atma is not affected at all. There is no injury to the Atma. And the reality, the Swarupa of this Atma is that it is Janma Mrityu Jaradika, the one who transcends all these sixfold changes. In fact, he is the one who makes these changes possible, but himself does not undergo any change. He is the form, he is in the form of the formless consciousness, which is not subject to any change. So that was the sloka. Now we go to the next sloka. Bhuvaswastarustarah sabita prapitamahah yajno yajnapatir yajva yajnyango yajnavahanah. So 9 namas are there. Bhuvaswastaruhu tarah sabita prapitamahah yajnah yajnapatihi yajva yajnyangaha yajnavahanaha. Bhuvaswastaruhu. Taruhu means a tree. Bhuvaswastaruhu means the one who is the tree that pervades all three worlds. Adi Shankara gives a very detailed bhashyam for this. Bhurbhuvaswasamakhyani trini vyahriti rupani shukrani trayisarani bhavricha ahuhu taihi homadina jagatrayam tarati plavate vetti bhurbhuvastaruhu athava bhurbhuvastas tasman lokha traya samsara vrikshah bhurbhuvastaruhu. Then one more meaning. Bhurbhuvaswarakyam lokatrayam vrikshavat vyapya tishtati iti va. These three, Bhuhu, Bhuvaha and Suvaha, they are called Vyahritis. And they are also referred to as the essence of the three Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda and Sama Veda. They are used as mantras in the homas, and they have the capacity to cross the three worlds. That is, they make good the deficiencies in the karmas and make one gain the result. And it is Bhagavan who is in the form of these three Vyahritis and makes one cross the three worlds. Hence, he is Bhurbhuvastaruhu. Or, alternatively, Bhurbhuvastaru stands for the tree of Vedas, Veda Taruhu. Under this Veda tree alone, all human beings grow, and they grow like a tree. They perform various yajnas and yagas and rituals that are the means for the various ends mentioned in the Vedas. So, making use of that tree, they become a part of the samsara tree. Or another meaning, Bhagavan is Bhurbhuvastaru, the tree which gives shelter to all the jivas. It is the samsara tree. All the jivas take shelter under this tree. Or there is one more meaning, Bhuhu, Bhuvaha and Suvaha, they stand for three worlds, Jagatraya, consisting of the earth, the heaven which is above, and that which is beyond heaven. And this is the samsara tree again, the Jagat Vriksha. Parameshwara is the tree because he is the seed out of which this tree has come. That is to say, that Bhagavan is not sitting in any corner of the tree. He is the very seed, the roots, and also the tree. The jivas are perched on the tree. So Bhagavan is in the form of Bhurbhuvastaru, pervading the entire universe. Then the next nama is Taraha. Taraha means the one who helps to get out of samsara. Samsara sagaram tarayan taraha pranavaha va. To cross this ocean of samsara or to get rid of the tree of samsara, and remember, Puja Swamiji defines the life of samsara as samsara as the life of becoming. So, in order to cross this samsara, help is needed. And that help is Parameshwara in the form of Tara, Taraha, the one who helps us cross it. When his grace is there, then help in the form of knowledge will be there. And by that, the samsara, the life of becoming, will be got rid of. There is only one means which can deliver us from this samsara, from this life of becoming, from this life of alternating between happiness and sorrow, grief. And that is jnana, knowledge, the self-knowledge. But for gaining the self-knowledge, adhikaritva, the preparedness is required. And this again is provided by one's own attitude and understanding of Ishvara, and by allowing Ishvara to rule one's life and keeping oneself under the grace of Ishvara, we can gain this knowledge. That's why we have to keep on bringing more and more Ishvara in our life, which means that we must bring in more and more dharma in one's life. This is one meaning of Taraha, the one who helps us cross the ocean of samsara. Tara also refers to Om, the Pranava, which is the name of Brahman as we just now saw it, and which also helps to cross the ocean of samsara. Om is Ishvara, and therefore Ishvara is Tara. I think we will stop here and continue in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all very much.
Namaste Guruji, Hari Om.
Harihi Om. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Guruji.
Hari Om.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram. Thank you. Hari Om. Thank you.
Dhanyavadaha, Guruji.
Dhanyavadaha. Thank you. So, any hands are going up? If not, unlike yes, Sulekha. Yes.
This is nothing. I have a question. It's got nothing to do with today's class. Class was very nice. Thank you very much for everything. It's about the last shloka, the shloka that we say, the mantra that we say at the end of the class, Purnamadam Purnamidam. The Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. Purnasya Purnam Adhaya or Adaya. I mean, earlier we were discussing about the Mahaprana and Alpaprana. So is it Purnam Adhaya or Adaya? I'm always a little...
I think it should be Purnam Adhaya.
Dha.
Base Dha, yeah.
All right, Achha. Okay.
So that's why it is the sustain of all Purnam, everything complete, right?
Oh,
or you can even take it as Adaya because the giver of Purna.
okay.
Da Dhatu means to give, right?
Yeah,
Ha Dhatu means to sustain. You can take both the meanings, but I will have to check exactly because sometimes new things come up, from a student. But we normally say Purna Madhaya only, right? Dha we don't use. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya. Da only we use, the giver of Purna, Adhaya. Yeah, that's what we use, but I'll check it up. Honestly, I'll check it up.
Just an academic question.
No, not academic. No, it has a meaning because both meanings can fit into this. That's a problem.
Yeah.
When you know the word is da and dha meaning, then both meanings fit into it. But what is the mantra in the Upanishad? We will have to check that, and I will let you. Yeah.
Thank you, Guruji.
Okay. Hari Om. Thank you. Yes, Sulekha ji, you wanted to ask something?
Thank you, Guruji. This was a very good class. There seems to be quite a bit of logic and reasoning, inference and analytic thinking that needs to take place from this one class lecture. And I think a fair bit of contemplation for me to do. There was a few things that I had questions about. If you have time, Guruji.
No, very much. No problem. Go ahead.
The first question is really around when you spoke about the 5 elements as they are born. You spoke about Akasha, Prana,
Vayu, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha, Prithvi.
And Prithvi. Is there, in previous slokas, you had also discussed the element of time and Parameshwara as the time element. Is time considered a foundation or a principle, or is it superimposed on Brahman by Maya? I mean, this may be more philosophical and not necessary, but where does time fit into this whole series of slokas?
There is nothing called time. Time is what we have superimposed on Brahman. There is nothing called time, right? So time, if you start analyzing time, as once earlier also I pointed out, how will you define time? We can keep on reducing. Suppose you say a year, then a month, a day, all are times. You will come down to now. This movement is time. And when you even utter the word movement, that movement is gone. So time is a concept which we have invented, human beings have invented. And we measure certain things with that concept. But in reality, like everything else is mithya, time is also mithya, appears to be real, but it has no existence. It's a very, very deep topic which Puja Swamiji is a master in dealing with this topic. Here and there I have been touching upon it. But from the Shastric point of view, the entire world is sustained, the physical material world is sustained only by these 5 elements. Akasha, Vayuhu, Agni, Apa, and Prithvi. And
Then-
there is nothing, the Shastra don't deal with time and all that. Akasha, space it deals with, right? But time it doesn't deal with at all. But without that concept of time, many of the things will be difficult for us to understand. That is why we impute time to so many things for our understanding. And eventually, when we actually complete understanding of what the reality is, the time is removed from that. Because time is not part of the reality at all. It is only Sat, Chitan, Ananda, which is the reality.
When
which
we talk
exists.
about, sorry, excuse me,
Yeah.
when we talk about then pralaya and manifest and unmanifest, are these stages for us to then understand as we increase our understanding through these means of knowledge? Is this a stage that we go through in terms of our own
this is a stage which we go through. Eventually, the knowledge culminates in that understanding that Aham, I am Satchidananda, there is nothing else other than me. Aham Brahmasmi. The only thing which is there in reality is Brahman. All this pralaya, even the Vedas, the scriptures, they are all mithya only. They serve a purpose for us to gain the understanding of what the reality is. Once we understand it, they are like ladders. When we climb the ladder and reach the top, the ladder is of no use. We actually throw the ladder away. Of course, the ladder is probably not a very accurate example, but just occurred to my mind. These are the stones on which we climb to gain that understanding that I am Satchidananda, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, all those Mahavakyas. Once you have reached the stage, everything else is mithya, because there is only one reality. There is only one thing, because we are talking about Advaita. There is nothing else other than that one reality, right? So whatever else we perceive, we experience, they are all mithya, appear to be real because of Maya, right? But they do not have any existence on their own. But then what happens is, when we say all these things to new students or even little bit who have learned, they become totally confused. They say we are experiencing all these things, and that is the biggest problem in people understanding Advaita philosophy. Because it appears to militate against our day-to-day experience. So what the Shastra do is, they bring that into, okay, you are at this level, we will tell you all these things. But as you move up and up and up, you understand that these are all just appearances, name and form only. They do not have any real existence of their own. They are all dependent on Brahman for their existence. What is the only reality is Brahman and Brahman alone. That is existence, consciousness, and limitless. That is the reality. And everything, when we look at it, they are part of these three. I mean, they all possess these three characteristics. So it's a very, I would actually suggest that don't get into this at this stage, because it could totally confuse your mind rather. We have to go stage by stage by stage in understand. It is just like, a BSc student, you teach him something like PhD, some thesis, PhD thesis. He will not make head or tail of what is being talked about, right? So, but that is the ultimate rather. That's the ultimate truth. That is the whole and soul of Advaita philosophy.
Right. So I take your direction and your guidance very seriously, and I will certainly not pursue that philosophical channel at this point. What I would like,
correct.
Yes, and what I would also like to know then are the Vishnu Sahasranama, the slokas that you are helping us to understand through analysis of Shankaracharya's Bhashyam. Are they then the invocation for drawing the grace of Ishvara towards us?
Well, there
anugraha,
are 2-3 ways we can understand this. One is what I told, right in the beginning. When you say Ishvara or Parameshwara is everything, that one sentence finishes all, correct? There is only Ishvara, there is nothing else if we say. Then the question will arise, what about this, what about that, what about that? So Vishnu Sahasranama is just a sort of a, you can say, a sample that these 1,000 things are all Ishvara, you understand. Like these 1,000 things, everything else also which you have got in your mind is also Ishvara. Be it a water bottle, be it a pillow, be it anything else, right? So these 1,000 names are just an illustration. When we say everything is Ishvara, and I think I gave that example also, that we go to a marriage of some relative. Somebody else has not been able to attend the marriage, and we meet that person. He asks, who had all come for the marriage? Then we say that everybody had come except you. Then he will ask, what do you mean by everybody who had come? Then we will say, so and so had come, so and so had come, so and so had come. We will count all the names of people who were there. Right? So similarly, the Vishnu Sahasranama starts that what is Bhagavan? He is Vishwam. Vishwaha, the first Nama. Means what? The entire universe. Vishwa is Bhagavan. Now, the moment you say that, Vishnu Sahasranama can stop there itself, if you understand what it is. But the problem is that Yudhishthira, probably Bhishmacharya felt, if I just say Vishwam Vishnu Vashatkaro, he will not understand. So he goes into these 1,000 namas. This is Ishvara, that is Ishvara, that is Ishvara. Whether it is an object, whether it is a feeling, whether it is an attitude, everything is Ishvara. So various types of things he has been included in Vishnu Sahasranama. Once we have understood what is Vishnu Sahasranama is, then our understanding will be that everything that we experience, everything that is there in the universe is all Ishvara only. There is only Ishvara. That's why Puja Swamiji says, it is not absolutely correct to say there is one God. Right? Because all the religions say there is one God. Right? God is one. But Puja Swamiji says the correct expression should be there is only God. There is nothing else other than God. If you learn to see God in everything around you, whether it is good thing, bad thing, the thing which gives you happiness, the thing which gives you grief and sorrow, if you are able to see God, Ishvara in everything, you have attained Jnana. And that is what in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is going to talk about that. So this is all the part and parcel. And the second way that Vishnu Sahasranama is, when we, as I told you in yesterday's Bhagavad Gita class, what do you call by Ishwara's grace? Ishwara's grace can be gained in so many ways. We can understand Ishwara, we can realize Ishwara, provided our mind is purified. Today we are unable to understand because our mind lacks purification. We take bath every day with water, soap and things, shampoo and all that, right? What do we do to clean our minds? Because the mind also, like our body, in fact, more than our body, the mind whole day keeps on accumulating dirt in form of all this raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madam and matsarya. These are all coming into our mind and they get, stuck there. What do we do every day to keep cleaning? Because there are two ways. One is the past muck which is collected, we have to clean that. Another is every day there is new things which is being added. How do we clean that? That is why these slokas, Vishnu Sahasranamam, meditation, all these things are sadhanas, chanting of Sahasranama and all, sadhanas which help us to clean our mind every day. The more sadhanas you do, the more clarity, that is, the mind will become more and more clear, pure. So that is another, dimension of this Vishnu Sahasranama chanting. And in order to, I would put it this way, in order to motivate people, because the Shastras want you to have not only a pure body, Shaucham, but Antara Shaucham also, pureness of your internal, your Antakarana. So they say incentive is what? You do this, you will earn Ishwara's grace. Right? What is Ishwara's grace? My own grace. I am Ishwara. I understand. If I understand that, then I am invoking my own grace by cleaning, but through this process of chanting Vishnu Sahasranama and all that. And Samatvam Yoga Uchyate, says Krishna. What is that Samatvam? Seeing everything as the same. And that is possible only when you see everything, including yourself, as one entity, which is Ishvara, which is Paramatma. And that is the culmination of the Advaita philosophy. And by that only, the society can be sustained. Otherwise, any other, the duality brings in bhayam, duality brings in conflicts, right? So many problems are there in duality. It is Advaita philosophy only can really sustain the world in a peaceful and harmonious manner. So from a practical point of view also, Advaita philosophy is very, very functional, not just a philosophy. So these are so many aspects we can go on discussing this. I can share whatever little knowledge I have got about this, but it's a very deep topic, very deep topic.
No, thank you, Guruji. It's a very, very beautiful explanation, and from that I have taken many more things that you have just said to contemplate on. And also, I think the biggest thing as well is, before learning how to walk, we should not run.
Correct. Very true. In fact, we would say that we are like the 3 or 4 year old children who have just learned to walk, rather. We will fall. They all fall. But children, when they fall, they will get up on their own. So that should be our spirit, guiding spirit. Even if we have a fall, even if we are not able to, suppose you are sitting on meditation, lot of thoughts are coming. Let them come. Don't resist them. Let them come, pass by like waves. Go back into your meditation. The more you keep on doing this, you will find that the thoughts will automatically stop coming, rather. You will be able to focus on your object of meditation. And all these sadhanas, you don't need anybody else to certify. When you are into this, you yourself will realize this is happening, this is happening. Automatically, it is self-awareness and I would say, not judgment, but you can evaluate yourself.
Right.
how you are improving, in this part. It is very, very nice to do that. You don't need anybody to say, oh, you are a Mahatma, you are this, you are that, and you know how pure your mind has become by just observing how many thoughts are entering your mind when you are doing meditation.
Thank you,
That is the
Guruji.
culmination. So all these things we can discuss, keep on discussing. Yeah.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hari Om.
And
Thank you.
Hari Om, one
Hari.
last question. It's not a question, but as you know, we are in India.
Yeah.
Amma and I, and we finished with the wedding, of course,
Oh,
and
good.
everything. May I give you one last call before we leave India? We'll be
Yeah,
leaving
tomorrow. Yeah, you can. Tomorrow we are going back to Bombay, me and Raji. So you can
Yes.
always call me, no problem at all. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be leaving tomorrow for Hyderabad, and then we'll be
Okay.
leaving back to Canada on Thursday night.
Right.
So from
So you can
Hyderabad, we'll
call
go
me.
to
Yeah.
Chennai, and Chennai. Right now, we're
Right.
just south of Alappuzha.
Okay.
So
Okay. Right.
we will be. But before I leave, I'd like to just pay respects to you by a phone call, and to
Sure.
Raji as well.
Sure. No problem. Okay.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Hari
Thank
Om.
you very much for the beautiful
explanation.
explanation.
Thank you
Thank
so
Thank
you.
you.
much.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you, everybody.